So we're out here at Paris. Bryan Smith and his Howerton Crosley racing team rented the track, and Villopoto and I think MC's coming out. We're just kind of a bunch of us out here riding, checking it out. I've been a fan of flat track forever. Mafia Moto Crew was a sponsor of Bryan Smith's in the past. He's from Michigan. A lot of guys who, the current champion, a lot of guys in the field. There's always been a strong presence from guys from Michigan. So I've known a lot about flat track forever, but somehow I've never tried it before. Maybe that was a smart one. It looks like it's tougher than I thought, so I'm excited to check it out. A little bit nervous, but pretty pumped.
Cool. You said you tried it a little bit in the snow when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, when I rode 80s, my dad like put some spikes in my tire, whatever they do. Keep it down. Like studs in my tires, and we rode on the ice a few times. Actually raced a few times, but I think there's way more grip at that than there is this. So not only that, I was probably like 12 years old at the time. So that was, you know, a long time ago. So I'm into checking it out for sure.
Ryan, you got a couple laps under your belt now. How does it feel?
It's pretty good so far. It's, I guess a little more different than I thought. I'm working on it. I need a little more time out there. But I'm hanging on the bike too tight. My right arm seems like got tight because I'm just waiting for it to like slide out or do something weird that I'm not used to doing. I mean, there's no knobbies on these tires, so strange for sure.
Is it weird without a front brake on there?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I would be a little bit better or more comfortable with a front brake. But I go in there and there's no front brake, nothing. So it's strange.
Do you feel yourself reaching for it anyways?
Not necessarily reaching, but you come in there maybe a little too fast and you're like, oh, and there's nothing to grab.
Smith, Grand National Flat Track number 42, out here getting sideways with Jeremy McGrath.
So what's going on out here today? We have Bryan Villopoto, Nick Way, yourself, Jeremy McGrath. Was this kind of like an invitation kind of thing that you put together?
Yeah, I mean, Greg at Kawasaki had been talking about how it'd be cool, and Jeremy's been my idol since I was a little kid, even though I didn't race motocross. He's just always super cool to me, and now that he's a Kawi guy and I was supported by Kawasaki, I thought it'd be cool. I didn't think it'd ever come together, and obviously it did. So I come out and checked out Anaheim too, and Jeremy's out here with the steel shoe on going sideways. So it's like a dream come true to me, you know, for me to be able to ride with Jeremy and actually keep up with him. So I had to bring him to my sport. I hope you don't want to bring me to his sport because I ain't keeping up on the moto track.
Was it kind of surreal being out there with him since, like you said, he's been like a childhood hero of yours?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've always looked up to him and thought it was really cool. So it's surreal. I mean, I met him before. You know, he seen me win at X Games and congratulated me, so that was pretty neat. And but to be able to ride with him and get sideways with him in kind of my world, it's definitely it's like a check off the bucket list. So I'm definitely stoked on it.
So, are you going to be waiting for an invitation to go ride on the motocross track now?
Nah, he can invite me, but I might have to call in sick on the moto track. I don't. I'm good at going fast and turning left, but not really jumping anything.
Oh man, we're at Paris, riding some flat track. Got invited by Bryan Smith, obviously, Team Kawi, and yeah, man, we're just having some fun on this track. You can see.
Was it a big difference going from obviously a dirt bike to something like this, where it doesn't have front brakes, the suspension's set really low,
yeah,
stuff like that?
You know, I mean, it's not that much different. I mean, what's cool is the tires on it allow the bike to move around a little bit, and they're wider, they got more grip. The low bike makes you feel a little more comfy. You know, you have more confidence. But I mean, the front brake thing, it doesn't matter. As soon as you start to figure out the slide in the corner, you're not really looking for the front brake anymore. So I think us motocrossers would do fine with the front brake, even out here. But I think the way the front wheel is, you can't run them. So
Right. So is it like the pitching out sideways in the corners? Was that kind of hard to grasp at first?
well, I think for me, like the first few laps, I mean, the first session, yeah, it was kind of like, okay, how much? I think the question for me was like, how aggressive can I be into the corner? But I mean, entry's a lot like Supermoto, and I've done that quite often, and I used to race that stuff, so it feels similar. It's super fun.
So
I think the thing you got to get used to the most is the slippery shoe. You're wearing the hot shoe, and it's like that metal shoe underneath your boot, and I mean, you know, when you lay on it, your foot gets really slippery. It's like banana peels. So I think figuring out what to do with the hot shoe is the tricky part.
Right.
Yeah.
So since Bryan got you out here,
Yeah.
are you gonna try to get Bryan on the moto track now?
I'm sure he rides motocross. I haven't talked to him too much about it, but I mean, he's awesome. So yeah, I'd like to get him out on the motocross track. I'll be nice and won't take him on the supercross track.
Cool, thanks Jeremy.
Yep.
I do feel like to be a true dirt tracker, I should probably smoke a cig at some point today for Jay Springsteen. No?